of the readership in the class. And if you would just start maybe by telling us a little bit about your entry into this, the romance novel world. And
Sure, yeah. Jody and I will remember, you want me to start? Or you want to start?
I'll start. I started off writing screenplays. That's what I was doing for many, many years. And I met my then husband at the Sundance Film Festival because he's a composer. And that's what I had always done, was write movies. That's what I had always wanted to do, but they always had a romantic element to it because I like happy endings. To this day, I won't go see a movie if I know it's going to make me cry. Because I always say I can stay at home and cry for free. If I'm spending money on entertainment, I want to be entertained and I want to be happy when it's over. And somebody at Disney was reading it, and I've always written historical. Same thing, Lisa played this, all that stuff. That's the era that I kind of live in. She'll tell you that.
She lives in the 19th. It's the 19th century, right?
It is.
I don't.
She has some contemporary ones now, though.
Yeah, she does.
Yes, they're really good too.
Yeah. And so they said, have you ever thought about writing a romance novel? Because they're historical and they're hard to produce. Historical movies are. And I thought, well, I think the last time I thought about it was when I was 14 and I was about to cut the first book. So I thought, all right, well, I'll give it a shot, and joined my local chapter and was there for a year before we started to write together, a year and a half.
Yeah, I had this idea. I've always been a huge fan of historical romances, and I wanted to write one because it's my favorite read. Because you get to move out of the time and place and go to a place where it's not everyday life, and it's like a movie. I want to be taken out of everything. And I always wanted to write one, but I didn't have the knowledge because you have to have so many rules. There's carriages and the clothing and the furniture and all the everything that goes with it. And I wanted to put a paranormal element into it because that was what I was writing at the time. And so Jody and I were at a conference or at a workshop one day, and I said, "Hey,
not paying attention."
Yeah. So I said, "Hey, let me bounce an idea off you." And she told me all the reasons why I couldn't write that in the 19th century.
That's what I do.
So, women can't inherit, and there's all these rules. And I said, I really want to write this because it's a really great wolf story. And she said, well, just do it and follow the rules. I said, I know what the rules are. And she said, let's write it together. Or I said, let's write it together. And it kind of started like a game around robin, and we passed it back and forth, 5 pages at a time. And 2 months later, this book was done.
In 2 months. 2 months.
2 months.
Oh, wow.
2 months after that, book 2 was done.
It's not here.
They bring that.
And then 2 months later, book 3 was
2
done.
months later, book 3 was done. And so we got a 3-book contract. It's now a 7-book contract, and we think it's going to be 10
It'll be 10 days soon.
altogether. She just told us she wants the next 3. So we have 1 that'll be out in November, and then 3 next year, and 3 the following year.
So this was recent.
It actually was, yeah. These came out this year, but we wrote them in 2009.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, given how vampires are so popular now, why did you go with the werewolves?
So vampires are our next 3 books.
Oh.
Believe it, we actually tossed that around, and in the Regency period, it's really hard to feed a vampire. They have to actually have a food source, and in present day and age, you can have them go to a blood bank, or you can make up some kind of funny drink that's in a bottle for them. In the Regency, there was no way to do that. So we were trying to figure out how to make a hero or a heroine who could have a food source and not be a bad guy. And so we said, no, let's write wolves. And the wolves were a lot more fun. But then we met some witches in book 2, and we had to have some vampires to counter the witches. And, that all kind of rolled out that way.